Big week. I'm sure you saw that although we did not report on it live like we initially had planned, the coronation of the King Charles.
Huge, a huge moment in history.
Yes, it was.
Maybe, was it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it will be a better moment in history when they abolish the monarchy. Because I think it's a bit outdated, to be honest.
It's a bit outdated. Well, they're pretty much the last ones, aren't they? They're the stronghold of monarchies. What other monarchies?
There's tons of
in
them.
Europe. In Europe,
yeah, there's tons of them. No, there's tons of them. Tons of them.
Do any of them have any real power?
No.
So it's just symbolism.
Yeah.
So King Charles III.
Yes.
Kciii.
Kciii.
I think he should be known by.
Got the full treatment on the weekend.
Okay. I missed it, unfortunately. I was go-karting at the time.
That's pretty good.
It was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fun.
But I wanted to see it because I wanted to see all the
pageantry.
Yes, the pomp.
Yes, the wank. Yes.
The wank. I wanted to see it all.
Yeah, and I did. I actually, in lieu of go-karting, chose to spend my afternoon this way.
So what did you see?
There was a point where there was a bunch of blokes walking behind the chariot, right, that was bringing them. The golden chariot, by the way.
Golden chariot. This is the arrival?
Yeah, well, both, I think.
The glorious arrival of the king.
Well, he's just a man at that point. He's just a prince,
just a
right?
dude.
But then it's sort of a bit of a ceremony that exists between him and being the king. I mean, he's been the king since his old lady died. But,
the formal
this
transition.
Is the official. Yes. So there's these blokes walking behind the chariot, and they're carrying flags. Flags are symbols, right? You've got the symbols on the flag; they mean certain things. And the ABC crew said, "Oh, and we're about to see now the Royal Standard. The Royal Standard's coming out.
What's that?
It's held by the King's Champion."
Oh, I heard about the King's Champion.
This is the bloke who, if they were at a feast or something, he's allowed to. People are allowed to essentially go, "I want to fight your champion," and it's on. Yeah. They'll fight. Someone will die.
So if the King's Champion loses, though, are they what do they get if they beat the King's Champion?
I don't know, a bit of cred, street
cred.
So
you don't just become the king. He's not fighting in lieu of the king. Is that what he's doing?
I think in a Game of Thrones way, it's like a representative on the battlefield of the king, right? If the king's not fighting today, he's a bit tired, we're sending out the King's Champion. But this was just some old bloke. He was super old. He doesn't look like he could lift a sword.
He was some farmer dude, I heard. Some 67-year-old farmer.
Is the King's Champion.
Yes. I think his descendant, I read he was a descendant of a king, like of a family that used to act as the King's Champion and was a very successful one at that.
Excellent. Right. If I was, in the British public, I'd be challenging the King's Champion right now. I'd be having a crack if it's him. Have a bloody go.
I read you could contest the right of the monarch to reign by challenging the King's Champion.
So you want your fucking best bloke out there, right, wielding the biggest sword, scary shit, Game of Thrones shit again, right?
But wouldn't everyone just be having a crack?
Well, you're going to die, aren't you?
I mean, then your family. If you're successful,
yes, which you're not going to be.
But if you are,
yeah. But when you grow up in this world, you're not thinking one day I'll challenge the champion. That's not a near thought. That's a distant thought. That's an impossible thought. No one goes there. No one does that.
That's a defeatist attitude.
No. That would have been the way of the world. That would have been the way of the world. I'd say now is a great time to have a crack. Better than ever.
Francis, this bloke, is the 34th member of his family to take part in a coronation.
That's insane. That's a line of its own, isn't it?
His family's done it since William the Conqueror.
That's the first one that they regard. Yeah.
Really? When was that? Okay, 1087.
1087? There you go. That's a fucking long time. So they pull up and they're just sort of sitting there. And I'm thinking, all right, it's kind of like a wedding, I guess. Like they're waiting in the car to get the nod, hey, time to get out of the car. And it takes ages for them to get out of the car. Now, that's when the panelists on the ABC came out with this beauty, which is they rehearsed getting out of the car on a stage they built inside Buckingham Palace because apparently the chariot is very difficult to get out of. 2 questions. Why is the chariot difficult to get out of? Why have you built a chariot that is difficult to get out of, right? First, second thing, he's 74 or something. He's 72 or 74 years of age, okay? We shouldn't have them navigating their way through a difficult carriage.
But the chariot's been there forever, right?
I don't know.
But it was built for optics. It had to look the part. It had to look big. It had to look glorious. They didn't give a fuck about the people getting in and out of it. That was second thought. That was just they'll pop a door on if they're lucky.
Getting out of it. This is the problem. But it's not just the fact that its chariot is difficult to get out of. It's because of their garments that they're wearing that it's difficult to get out of.
They would have been regal.
Yeah.
Or were they regal at this point? How regal are we talking?
So he goes through a few phases. At the start, I can't really remember what he's wearing, but at some point, they do pop these walls up around him during the ceremony. During the ceremony, just before he's king, they chuck on these surrounds around him, and then you come out and he's done a bit of a dress up change because now he's just wearing a white shirt and black pants. And you're like, what happened to the rest of the bizzo? It's gone. Okay.
Yes.
Bit of a quick change, bit of a magic act. Hey, I was wearing this, now I'm wearing this. But that's not all that happened in there. I think that's also where the priest will put some ointment on him.
Yes.
The ointment's important.
It's sacred ointment.
Sacred ointment, something or other. A piece of the cross, Jesus' cross, was donated.
Get out of town.
From the Vatican. So
you're a big swinging dick when the Vatican's donating bits of the Jesus cross to you.
Yeah, man. What about some of that blood? We have some blood?
Ooh,
anyway.
Yeah. I hear it's called chrism oil. I'm really devil that I missed out on this because I'd read a lot about it. This chrism oil used to have some kind of animal in it. And then in World War II, they lost the original chrism oil in a bombing raid. And now apparently they make a vegan-friendly one.
Oh, they made a point out of that, didn't they? That it's a vegan-friendly ointment that is
woke,
going on.
Woke ointment.
Yeah, great. Appeal to the masses.
And and they put up this. Got
to get the kids somehow, man. Got to get the kids somehow. The old people are off soon. So.
Well, there's enough people. There's enough things for people to complain about with the monarchy that they don't want to add in.
Animal cruelty.
Unnecessary. Yes, animal cruelty. The rest.
If it needs to be ointment with the blood of 1,000 goats' heads. If that's what it needs, then we should probably find a better way to do this. In 2023.
They probably bled out a whole bunch of different animals into that ointment, but they just tell people it was chia seeds and
a couple of cool stare downs from the priest. We just has he forgotten what to say? Has he completely blanked here? Does he know what he's doing? Because he'll just look around like this.
A big pause. Dramatic.
And when he comes back in, it's not like he says anything important. He just goes, God's great, isn't he? God save the king was said many times, especially after this thing went on his head. So he gets given a ring, which he has to touch and say, this is my ring now.
Some bling.
He gets some bling.
Some kingly bling.
He gets a scepter and the orb thing, and they make him hold it there like he's won it for a merit award or something. And then they give him the headpiece. The big boy.
The ultimate bling, 2.5 kilo, I'm told.
2.2 kilos. Solid gold frame adorned with semi-precious stones.
444 jewels.
And I think, and I could be wrong on this, but I think he took one of the stones out that was in his mum's, which is the same one.
Did he?
He's popped it in a different one. I think he gave it to his lady, Queen Camilla.
It's nice.
So
not even his to begin with, but
Yeah,
Yes.
I think it's India's. And they want it back. And he's like, well, I don't have it anymore. It's in Camilla's headgear. So you can ask her. So
That's not the koh-i-noor diamond, is it? Have you heard
it
of
could
that
be.
one?
It could be. It could be. Anyway, I think some people want it back, obviously. There's a
The
sense
koh-i-noor,
of go
the
on.
reason why this stood out to me is there's a curry place in the Duncraig area that my parents take me to that's fantastic, called koh-i-noor. And so when I saw this koh-i-noor diamond mentioned, I was like, what? And it's a very Indian name, isn't it? It's one of the largest cut diamonds in the world, weighing 105 carats. That is absurd.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what carats
It
are.
is part of the crown jewels of the United Kingdom.
There you
the
go.
diamond is currently set in Queen Kciii's, in the crown of Kciii's. Yeah, it was.
It was. I don't think it is anymore. I think it's been moved. I don't know if it's to Camilla's headgear or to someone else's, or maybe they're just keeping it on the, I don't know, nightstand or something. I don't know.
Okay. I wonder why
did
they
hear
named
that,
their restaurant after this diamond.
Well, it's one of the largest uncut diamonds. Well, it's one of the biggest diamonds in the world, right?
Yeah, seems to be.
Maybe. I think the whole thing could have been cut down a little bit because.
Cut it down.
Yeah, you could be just like,
Simplify.
you're gonna be all right. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be all right. Like, cool. All right, done. We're good. King's Day is now his birthday, and we're G. So, well, they won't do that.
One
They'll
symbol.
just pick it up.
Just have the crown. The crown's enough. The crown embodies all the things, all the bits. And like, how long are you going to keep up this charade? Like, really?
No. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. You can't take out a bit. The whole thing's a charade. Can't take out bits of the charade. Anyway, they're wearing a lot of the color purple though in their garmentry. Color purple's in the actual hat as well.
Yeah.
In the crown.
It is. Yeah.
Now, purple, of course, we've discussed in the past, but it was a long time ago. So purple was a very difficult color to get a hold of back in the day. It was impossible. So that's why all the royal stuff is all purple, because it represents affluence and all that sort of good stuff.
Purple dye was worth 3 times its own weight in gold.
There you go.
Blood
because they had to extract it from something.
Mediterranean snails.
Yeah,
sea snails.
Yeah, that was the source of purple. So next time you, I don't know, click purple on the on your paint dropper in Microsoft Paint or some shit, and you drop it down there. Yeah.
But the one thing I am behind is apparently there was a coronation quiche.
What does that mean? Who's serving up the quiche? Gordon Ramsay?
Oh, some royal chef of some kind.
Right.
But
when
it was
did they
chosen.
get the quiche?
Kciii and Camilla chose the flavors of the quiche from some lineup, and that has now been apparently Kciii did one. She had a coronation quiche. Let me just find what it is.
Fucking hell, radio.
So Buckingham Palace released a quiche to mark his coronation. The royal chef says the new quiche has delicate flavors and can be eaten hot or cold.
Great. Leftovers. We're having King Charles quiche leftovers tomorrow.
Okay, the dish featuring spinach, broad beans, and tarragon. Broad beans? They're the sleeper.
Very interesting.
See, I knew that's all tied in together.
Interesting.
Check out the video on the sinister broad bean, the sinister fava bean. See, I knew it.
Hannibal Lecter shit.
Hannibal Lecter stuff.
I'm not saying everyone who has broad beans in their diet are like psychopaths or anything. I'm just saying that's what the film suggests.
And there is an absurd number of base pairs in the broad beans DNA sequence.
Complex DNA sequence.
Four times that as many as a human. I think there's something going on there.
Yeah. Purple broad beans.
Don't eat the coronation quiche.
Purple.
The coronation quiche needs to be put on the danger
water
list until
with
the
water
water
and
list.
asbestos.
Yes. Okay. Oh, here we go. The dish featuring spinach, broad, and tarragon is a nod to coronation chicken, a curry and mayonnaise-based dish invented for the 1953 coronation of Kciii. So she had a coronation chicken. So was it a quiche or so maybe they just pick a dish. It doesn't have to be a quiche.
But you said she did do a quiche.
Well, I thought she did. I thought they all had quiches, but I think Kciii had a coronation chicken, which is a curry and mayonnaise dish. And then Kciii has the coronation quiche.